My brothers, as usual, this is JRS Sydney, and this is the Sydney Table Talk Show, the STTS show. Once again, I am going to be looking into the conflicts between the Ogiame of Utata, Benin Nation, and that of the Oba of Benin. My viewers, I would never leave this conflict or this crisis because it is historical. As black people, we must learn to respect our history. Let me say this. The title of this discussion is The Excesses of the Oba of Benin in Post-Colonial Benin Kingdom. Let me ask one question to every viewers out there. Have you gone to check it out? Does the Oba of Benin have the right to restructure the pre-colonial administrative structure of his palace? I mean, does the Oba have a right to appoint new chiefs and make them senior to the pre-colonial titles in Benin Kingdom? No. I am talking about the Oba's palace. This has nothing to do with the Ogiame of Utata Benin Nation. Here we are dealing with a very, very sophisticated question. It's the question of whether the Oba of Benin is right in modifying the administrative structure of his palace after colonial time. No, the answer is no. You don't need lawyers to explain these things to you. You have the United Kingdom. The Queen of England, as soon as democracy takes over in England, the Queen of England does no longer expand territories. The Queen of England is obliged by the British law to keep the administrative structure of the royal palace in Britain before, that is pre-democratic times. In Nigeria, it is simple. Every kingdom that was colonized in Nigeria, the geographical structure of a kingdom in Nigeria ends in pre-colonial time. That means, by the time the British invaded Benin Kingdom, the Oba of Benin's geographical spread, I mean the areas that he occupied, remains this area. His jurisdiction remains in that territory. The Oba of Benin has no right to move out of those territories and go into other territories in post-colonial time because his kingdom ceased to exist by 1897. So what I'm saying here is that the Oba of Benin is not actually teaching the youths in Benin City to respect the Constitution of Nigeria. I'll give you another example. When the High Court in Benin ruled that the Ogiame has a kingdom, the Utata Benin Kingdom, and that the Oba has his own kingdom, the judge in his judgment said they had to maintain the status quo based on the 1968 Chieftaincy Titles Act, because the judgment was delivered based on that act. But when we went to the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal said the Ogiame became a chief to the Oba of Benin. That's good. Anyway, I am not here to discuss much about the Ogiame and the Oba of Benin. What I am trying to say here is that does the Oba reserve the right to move out of this pre-colonial geographical spread to areas he did not occupy before the white man came? This is the question. If you want to understand, you will understand. But if you don't want to understand, that is your business. Because in Nigeria, and as black people, we like to dance around those who have money to give us. But we do not care about the truth. Do you want to know the truth? It is simple. There are 7 local governments of the EVACCC in the current Edo State. That means 7 local governments speaking the language Edo. 3 of these local governments, Nwode, Ikpobaoka, Oriamo. Before 1897, I want you to find out how many chiefdoms or dukedoms were in these 3 local governments, because the word Enogie came from the Obas dynasty, and the word Enogie is practically and was practically used in Ovia in the 3 local governments that the Oba of Benin, that the federal government officially assigned to the Oba of Benin. All right? What I am still saying here, I want you to get it clear. Internally at the Oba's palace, have you people noticed since Ilegal came to power, the Uzamas have been swept aside? This is not a problem of the Ogiamiers, but it has to be noted to tell you the excesses of the Oba of Benin. By 1897, my brothers and sisters, in the Oba's palace, in his palace, after the Oba of Benin, we had the Uzamas, who were known as the senators. And as soon as the British invaded, that structure must remain intact, because what do we teach our children? What is historical about the Oba of Benin if the Uzamas are not there to play the role they played before 1897? Because today what you have in the Royal Palace in Benin is very strange. Strange because you have new superior titles being created by the Oba's palace. But do they have a right within the Nigerian constitution to create new titles superior to Idore, superior to Olia, superior to what do you call the other one I wrote? Superior to Gego? No. By 1897, Benin Kingdom, the Oba of Benin's palace, the Oba of Benin, then you have the Uzamas, these were the senators. This was the dynamic of that palace, because these senators controls the Oba of Benin. And when the British came, these same senators were the people who defended him. They lost. But as soon as the British won, that structure must remain intact. The Oba of Benin has no right to alter that structure. The only reason why Oba of Benin altered that structure today, it is like a road does not exist in Benin. It is like a Dohen does not exist in Benin. It is like Ogiego does not exist in Benin. It is like Oliano Gile does not exist in Benin. Brothers and sisters, I want you to open up your eyes, because Oliano Gile, Idohen, Ero, Ogiego are part of the aboriginal Benin people. The only people who are not the aboriginal people are the Oba of Benin. It's the Oba of Benin, sorry to say that. So what we're saying is that, does the Oba of Benin have the rights to appoint new chiefs who are superior to Olihai, to Idohen, to Ero, and to Gigo? He does not have the right. The Oba of Benin is running a parallel government in Benin City, a state within a state, a kingdom within a state. The kingdom does not exist anymore. The Oba of Benin must be taught to know this. His kingdom does not exist. And any attempt by him to move out of his pre-colonial geographical spread by 1897, it's an attempt to rob other people, because he feels now he's powerful. This is where we are. By today, the Uzamas in Benin, they do not count. By the way, where is Ezomo? Because Ezomo is one of the Uzamas. Why did Ezomo? It is time. In Nigeria, we have historians, we have journalists. Guys, wake up. Go to these people and question them. How come you people are no longer active in the palace of the Oba of Benin? Because they are not active. The Oba has come with a new system, which is illegal, because he does not have the right to change the administrative structure of his palace. His structure remains where it is by 1897. Obaiwari, Nigerians are not living in the 16th century. We are in the 21st century. Most of the things that you are doing contravenes the constitution of Nigeria, like your coronation. There was a judgment that says that you should maintain the status quo, because the Ogiame won the case at the High Court, which means the judgment was delivered on the 1968 Chieftaincy Titles Act. You did not maintain the status quo. Instead of waiting for that frivolous judgment that you people manipulated to coronate yourself, you coronated yourself before the coronation, before the Court of Appeal ruling. And that means that you are directly showing your followers that you do not respect the Constitution of Nigeria. So why should I respect you? I'm not going to respect you, by what? I'm not going to respect you because I know you. I've seen you at the embassy in Rome. What did you do for the Benin people? And what have you to do for them? And again, you, Governor Obaseki, you better know this. Obaeware is duplicating your role in Benin, because what we are hearing in Europe, anything you are planning, everything is attributed to Obaeware. He is not the only first-class chief in Nigeria, Obaseki, or in Benin City or in Edo State. The governor is the governor. Erediawa is illegal. Obaeware is acting illegally. He has no right. Like his father, they have no right to restructure the palace. The palace of the Oba of Benin stops in 1897, and that is the historical heritages of the people. That is what we are supposed to show our children when they visit the palace of the Oba of Benin. We show them, these are the Uzamas, these were the senators. All right? This was the structure of the palace. Now, when the students, they come to your palace, you show them that these are the Uzamas, and they know that Uzamas are the senators, they are next to you. And then they read in the newspapers that Ayobahan of Benin, that dirty idiot, that Agbero, is senior to Oliha in the palace. Fuck all of you. God damn it. Fuck all of you. You people have desecrated Benin's tradition. The Uzamas are the senators in your palace. Oliha, wake up. Edohe, wake up. Ero, wake up. By 1897, the Oba's right to restructure the palace administration ended. He collapsed. Enough is enough.